All right, how you guys doing? Welcome back to episode 5 of 3 Rails, 4 Dads, and our first special guest. Welcome, Stu. And by the way, literally 2 seconds before we went live, I turned to Stu and I go, wait a minute, have you ever done one of these before?
The answer is no.
So we are the first time. But go ahead, everybody. Mike from the Datafied channel, Ray from Ray's Trains, Dell from Dell Hudson Instagram. And please be sure to like and subscribe to 3 Rails, 4 Dads on Instagram and YouTube. And as Mike reminded me before this show started, I am working on getting our YouTube show also set up as a podcast. So we'll be working on that. I can't guarantee when it's going to happen. When work slows down a little bit, we'll get to that.
That'll be never.
Yeah. All right. Who we got in the chat, Del? Who we got in the chat?
I see Dockman's in the chat, and I want to apologize to him because usually he's the first one to get the scoop from Stu. But tonight, we're going to get one over on you, Sean. Stu's going to spill his guts on everything on the show tonight.
I heard he's going to tell us everything that's in the Volume 2 catalog also.
I think I hear a thunderstorm, but it would be a shame if we lost internet connection right before I did the Volume 2 catalog reveal. That would be a shame.
Spoiler alert, there's lots of heritage units again.
Nice. All right, wait, who else is in there? We got Uncle Salty's in there. Maddie C is in there.
Bill B.
All right, Bill's in.
There you go. Yep, Bill B. Who else? Ray, you're in there.
Hack.
I'm in there.
Adding the stats.
Right. Got to get the viewership up.
James is in there.
Here we go.
Good
Uncle
deal.
Salty.
Yes, Uncle Salty, Rocky Mountain Train Show. I was out in Denver this past weekend for the TCA Rocky Mountain Division Train Show. Outstanding event, biggest train show west of the Mississippi.
Wow.
It's huge.
That was one,
Big E up in Amherst.
That was one of the questions I had for you coming up tonight. Is I want you to already know how us guys on the East Coast are train nuts and how we are at these train shows. I was going to ask you, out there, is it the same? Are they just as crazy and passionate about trains as we are? Or are they okay? That's what I figured. I'd let you talk about your experience a little bit about that. Okay.
Whenever you want me to.
Go nuts.
Now?
Yeah.
So
We're in. We're live.
I know. Well, I know we're live. Like, folks, there's no script here. I mean, I don't know what I'm
I
doing.
literally went outside, walked a couple blocks, dragged Stu over to my house and said, go on with this.
I'm over at Wawa getting a cup of coffee. And he says, Stu, come here. Come to my basement. And I'm like, well, whatever. Okay. And so now I'm on the internet, but whatever. So, yeah, Rocky Mountain Toy Train Show. It's run mostly by the Rocky Mountain division of TCA. They do have a partner. The NMRA partners with them a little bit. So they get their volunteers from those two organizations, as well as the scouts and everything. Huge scouting involvement out there. So the event out there is not like York. It's not a show that's die-hard dedicated for the train collectors. It's much more like the Big E up in Springfield, Massachusetts. Yes, there's tables of trains to buy and sell, but you have all the manufacturers out there. In the world of O-Gauge, you've got Lionel, you've got Bachmann by Williams, but they also have all their other lines of trains. I think O-Gauge, that's the highlights, but HO out the wazoo. All the manufacturers from HO and N-Gauge and Z-Gauge are out there. You name it, they're all there. Layouts like you've never seen before. Everything from G-Gauge down to the tiniest little Z-Gauge. Those layouts would fit. I know Ray has one of these round Lionel coffee tables. Z-Gauge layout would fit right here on this table.
My son has been obsessed with those little Z-Gauge, and there's the Z, and there's there one below Z or Z this
TT?
TT.
Whatever it is. And they're if you go to the Greenberg, there's at Greenberg, there's somebody along the windows that's always got them there. They're not cheap, but they're, so we have been like, N and Z, I've been watching to see if I can get my hands on like a small set just for us to mess around with. We thought about this, like, if you had a G-scale set, Mike, like your father, G-scale, and then get like one of those Z or TT size ones, and you could put it in like the front yard of one of the houses.
Yeah. It's fun
Yep.
seeing model train versions of themselves within. It's like trainception.
See, Sean, T is smaller than
Man,
Z.
he is. When I was talking to HO one night on one of my live streams, he was plugging with all the information. He's got all the scale information, all the non-O scale information for us.
Is it a breach of etiquette if I actually give a shout out to one of the people in the chat?
No,
Not at all.
Go for
So,
there's no etiquette on this show. I don't
No,
know.
we
oh, that's why I fit right in.
No,
No
I'm
etiquette.
pretty sure that all these guys are grabbing their phones like, what does etiquette mean?
Googling etiquette.
Anything
Hey,
like
I want to
that,
give a
let's
shout
get
out to George Stars from Pittsburgh, a great friend of mine. George, if you didn't know, it was one of the 2 TCA folks who this past winter went down to the White House. The White House contacted TCA, said, we want TCA to bring trains down to the White House to set them up around the tree at the White House.
Wow.
So Stacy, our business office manager, George Stars from Pittsburgh, they went down and spent about 4 days or so setting up trains at the White House, doing a lot of other behind the scenes things at the White House. And as you can imagine, that all comes with background checks from the Secret Service and metal scanners and all that kind of stuff. But those trains are now back at the TCA Museum in Strasburg, Pennsylvania. So if you go out to the museum next week, there is a display of the actual trains that were running under the Christmas tree at the White House. So George, thanks for doing that.
That's so
really awesome.
cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I remember seeing his post on that. That was really cool.
We got a question in the comments here. So Dylan's asking us, are we going to do videos at York? So thanks to Dakman and Sean for everybody else, as anybody can do videos now at York in any hall. That's new news, first time ever. But I don't know that I personally am going to do that. Like, I have tried at Greenberg to do that, but I just can't do what Sean does and like pay attention to the show. And
I'm gonna
do the video at
milk
the same time.
every bit of content out of this thing.
So 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. There you go. I'm going to take some video and pictures when I feel it needs doing, but I'm not going to go crazy and actually film the whole show. What about you, Mike?
It's gonna be
sorry, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
It's gonna be like November, and Ray's still gonna have like, all right, guys,
100%.
we got some more footage from York.
Week 20 of York. No, in my defense, I always, literally every show I go to, I'm like, this is terrible compared to Sean, but here's like a minute of train footage. But anyway, go ahead, Mike.
No, yeah, it's well, and Stu, you had mentioned before, you were asking if I was going to the Denver show, because that would make a whole lot more sense for me to go to that instead of to York. But you know, practically everyone here is going to be at York, and I at least want to meet them and all that, and just the experience of being there. I do then plan to go to Denver, but it's like, maybe I should have built up to York, but it doesn't sound like the Denver show is a small one to start with anyway. So
yeah,
just off the deep end.
Correct.
I'm doomed.
Yeah. All right. So, and we got Caleb's in the chat there. Caleb Easter's out there. Yeah. So Dakman making it happen, Maddie C. So yeah, in case anybody, I've been throwing them up here. The forecast, I looked it up this afternoon, 77, but it did say rainy. I don't know if it's changed for York.
The halls are indoors.
The halls are indoors, but dude, it's a hike between some of them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, let's see. I'm looking really fast right now. Oh, now it's not saying that. 77, lots of clouds, not as warm. So it's going to be a northeast 77, I guess.
Northeast 77.
All weather is good weather. It's
Yeah.
it's good train weather.
Good train weather.
Yeah.
Rain weather is train weather. All right, who's got another question for Stu?
Like from us or from the chat?
I guess I would go with he's our guest. It should start with us, but if there is one in the chat,
Yeah. Well,
Apparently, like, this conversation is now done and over. Like, there's no bye, guys. I'm going back to Wawa.
Thanks for stopping by.
we have to call this out. So Stu showed up at the house with, let's see if I can get that close in there. Lenny the Logger.
And that was Lionel's beer that they did a collaboration with Cabarrus Brewing that is down in North Carolina, right down the road from the Lionel factory. They unveiled this last summer at the LCCA convention. Excuse me, everybody that was there got a can. But for those who know me, one can's not enough. So I drive down to the brewery and I get 3 cases. This is the last 4-pack tonight.
Oh, wow.
We're
I
kicking
am
it.
blessed that I got part of the last 4-pack.
Yep.
I'm surprised it made it that far.
Me too.
So I wanted to tell the story about the first time I met Stu.
Go nuts.
So it was the first show that opened up after the pandemic at York, and I had my wife's friend's son. He was about 9 years old. His uncle normally takes him to York, but he couldn't do it. But he had a badge, so I brought him with me. And Stu can confirm this. But whenever you see young kids at a train show, you know, I light up because it's the future of the hobby, and you were talking to this my friend's kid there, and he made us feel so welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, Daryl froze. Okay.
Okay, it's our drinking game because this rainstorm is killing my signal. But anyway, so
doing tonight?
so I told after Stu left, the vendor that we were at, he says, "You know who that was?" I said, "I have no idea." He said, "That's Stu Rankin, the TCA president." And I didn't know who you were back then. But on the note of the president, on Dackman's video, I wanted to give a shout out to Kevin Quinn and congratulate him on becoming the new TCA president. I guess, was it in July he takes office? Correct. He let that out of the bag. He said it wasn't public knowledge yet, but once he puts it on Sean's channel, it's public knowledge now. So he's a great guy, and you know, another Mecca member that's taking over the reins. You know, it's awesome to see in our hobby great people that are in leadership. So
yeah, no, that's cool. All right, we got so James is asking in the comments there.
Be free to go.
What days are we going to be there? So Ray's going to be there all 3. Del, are you there all 3 too?
I'm there 4 days, Wednesday to Saturday. I'm gonna go for the early show this year.
All right. All right, you got your senior citizen card out. He's going for the early bird special.
Oh,
and
yeah, I'm gonna be there Wednesday to Saturday. I'm going for the early show before
Mike and I will both be there Friday and Saturday.
So,
and I saw Caleb's going to be there. I think Caleb. You said just Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was. It's either Friday or Saturday, not both. If I'm not. What else we got in the comments? I saw another question come up in here. Man, oh. Yeah. All right, here we go. I flashed this up. Newt 1969. Wawa reference gives me Art and Stu, a hint for Art and Stu. What areas is everybody else?
Well, I can go first. Here in Omaha, Nebraska, home of the Union Pacific, hence the gratuitous amount of UP around the line. But yeah.
I live in the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area.
UP.
I'm south. Yeah, I'm south of Ray and Hazleton, about an hour south of Scranton, so in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
All of you guys could do this live stream in Art's basement pretty realistically.
So the next
Greenberg
Greenberg show in August, right? Is the next one,
yeah.
I think? The next one in August. We're going to do our live stream after that show on Saturday night from my basement. That's what we'll do.
I'll be there.
Yeah, all of us will be here.
Even Del?
Yeah, we'll get Del to come here too.
Del wish he went
if it doesn't rain.
It doesn't. That's right.
All right,
Speaking of Greenberg, I just want everybody to know, and I'm jumping way ahead here by like 6-9 months. So I just learned something new in the past 2 weeks. The Greenberg Train Show in November is always Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
You want to change that answer?
It's always right around the 30th because that's when his birthday is. That's why I know
that's better. Then I get to escape the
However,
activity.
That's your out.
My assumption is wrong. It has been Thanksgiving weekend, I think, my entire life. Greenberg just announced their show in November is always the 4th Saturday in November, which means November 2024. It's the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
Yeah, I know it's gonna suck.
Oh.
Although I'll probably be off that whole week anyways.
Anyhow, just letting you know.
No, but that'll work out. Yeah, we're still doing it.
People are gonna show up on that
And
Thanksgiving
on
weekend.
August and November. We'll come back here. We'll run some trains that we buy, and we'll do the live stream. All right, and Mike, so when are you flying out for the Greenberg show?
Yeah, I'm really.
I'm not sure that's worth a flight.
I don't know if many folks know this, but originally I was born in Methuen, Massachusetts, north of Boston, and I grew up in Merrimack, New Hampshire, just north of Nashua. My mom still parks a car on Harvard Boulevard, and every now and then when we visit, my accent kind of, well, I don't know if it's my accent or if it's just me picking up on stuff locally, but yeah, so between all the train stuff and between also before, if you guys knew that I was into like stage rally and stuff, realizing all the rally races on the East Coast, it's like, why did we move to the middle of like quadruple landlocked Nebraska? Goodness, but it's all right.
Hey, hold on. Can you put that comment back up there?
Yes.
What was that?
So that's my buddy John Holt there.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. So
Trains and Things had that on there.
Chris from Chris's Trains and Things mentioned this on his video yesterday. So go to Chris's Trains and Things yesterday's video. He will tell you all the days and the times that the Lower Susquehanna Valley Modular Railroader Club, I think they're in Columbia, Pennsylvania. Chris gives you all the details, like 25 minutes from New York. So basically you could walk there. But bring your own trains. They'll let you run your own train. So buy the train at York, bring it to the Lower Susquehanna Valley Modular Railroaders and run your train that day. There you go, John.
All right. So that's a great lead into a question. What are you getting at York?
Oh.
That's not one of your own custom runs.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
The Rio
All right, let
Grande.
me say it differently. What are you looking for? Because you're not going to necessarily find it, right?
Yeah. So there's actually nothing specific that I'm looking for. But what I do look for is, I'm a big MPC guy, 70s, 80s, even into the early mid 90s, basically pre all this digital stuff.
I just laughed about our conversation earlier where I started talking and he's like, what I just heard was wah, 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 wah.
Electronics are not my specialty. So
I'll go get my trombone.
What's that?
What?
Is that,
I
was
said
that
I'll
right?
go get my trombone and start doing wah, wah, wah.
That's what I hear when he starts talking about all these electronics.
No.
So MPC, I love individual rolling stock stuff. They often put a lot of rolling stock in sets and they just put it in a styrofoam box. But every once in a while, they would take that set component and put it in an individual box.
Yeah.
And they would go on sale at like Toys R Us and all those discount chains. They didn't make a lot of those things. So I love all these set items that normally don't have a box. I love finding them in a box. And those are not really listed or cataloged anywhere. So I'm just walking around.
And you got to imagine the member halls. You're going to find those.
I find all that stuff. And they're not expensive. Like literally, they're like $10 or $15 train cars. But you only find them once every 10 years.
Yeah,
So,
so
individually
really
boxed set rolling stock.
Interesting.
so between it's being rare, it's rare, but it's not like rare sought after, so they're super expensive. And it's also specific still, so you have fun looking for something that's not just, oh, I like everything, let's just buy everything, goodbye wallet.
Gee, I don't know anybody else who does stuff like that.
No.
Ray. Meanwhile,
Hey, I'm going to try to ask another question before my signal drops out
all
again.
right, why not?
Okay, since Stu was talking about his likes in the train, the MPC era, and I wanted to ask him, how does Metka balance?
No, you're
No,
there.
you're there.
No, you're good.
Oh,
Del.
now
Now he's
Oh,
not.
and he's gone now. Take a
Oh.
drink.
I gotta get one. Oh man, he's frozen good. All right. So
All right.
while we wait for Dell to come back,
Wait, before Del comes back, let me just say when I met Stu for the first time. So it was last year's York, so this one, so spring 2023. and I didn't know. I came with no one. I didn't have any friends in the hobby yet. And the Metka booth must have been set up right outside the Orange Hall before you go in. And Stu looked at me and was like, "Oh my God, Ray's Trains. You had that video about the lemon you bought. That was the coolest video." He made me feel so good because I went in there going, "What am I walking into here? Like, is everyone going to hate my guts?" And Stu couldn't have been nicer. And he made me feel a lot better about the whole thing until the guy didn't show, and then I was basically crying to Stu on the last day that
that's
he
right, because
stiffed
that's
me
when you were
again.
supposed to pick up the replacement. That's right. Yeah.
But then Stu made me feel better again. So yeah, that was my first meeting with Stu.
That's right.
Speaking of MPC, so Dakman he grew up during the MPC era, and I think he had a video not too long ago that he put out where he ran his original. I think it was his original MPC set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running my Blue Comet when I got this new track all set up. I ran the Blue Comet on it. That was the first thing I ran on it.
It's great stuff because it's built like post-war, but with better graphics.
Yeah.
Oh, Dell's back. You want to keep going?
Go ahead, Dell.
Yeah. Well, I shut my Wi-Fi off. I'm strictly on data right now, so I probably won't go off anymore. Hopefully. Okay. So, like I was saying, is that you collect different things than other people. Ray and I are into more scale. I collect everything from pre-war on up. Mike is into semi-scale. But when you do a custom run with Metka, what's the process for you guys to try to appease all audience out there? Because you can't just offer one item or else you will only get that group. You know, how do you divide your resources to where is it like, okay, we're going to do one scale item for this group. We're going to do one 64 cars because we can get them printed for days. You know, how do you do that when you're trying to decide what to actually pre-order and get done?
So it's another one.
It's not focusing, but yeah. And this is I found out a rare one.
Yeah. I think we only did 100 of those.
That's myself.
That's your
Wait,
cell
are we
phone.
showing off Metka stuff? Is that what's happening?
Oh, look at that. 3 for 3. We're okay. And Dell, you also have the cold beer trailer. You were showing me that before the
Oh, I like that.
yes.
All right.
All trying to make items.
Okay.
There's questions popping up in the chat.
Okay, and I'm going to keep this one short. So, Dell, the one thing, and while you said we try to appeal to everybody, I never on any one given project try to appeal to everybody because that's going to be an utter failure. One thing that really controls what we offer is what the manufacturers are offering. We have to piggyback our custom runs on what you see in the catalog. And I try to do a variety of body styles, a variety of manufacturers, a variety of graphics, sometimes prototypical, sometimes complete fantasy. And the one thing I really try to do is not do something that was done before. And that is actually the biggest thing. Every time I see a manufacturer announce a body style, and then I go, Google is my friend. That's how these custom runs get done. You Google left and right. So you Google whatever it is, a 40-foot reefer for Crown Royal. Inevitably, it's been done. You're shocked that I'm shocked that all the good ideas are taken. But even so, we're still able to come up with some unique creations that the market still wants. There is no magic formula. Go ahead, Mike.
You haven't done an Arts Model Trains run yet, so there's a good idea.
Favorite body style.
No, I have to figure this out. We'll talk.
You wouldn't be the first YouTuber I collaborated with.
Right. All right, we got some questions in the comments, so let's roll through these. Oops, I'm scrolling in the wrong place here. So Caleb is asking, and we can go around really quick. What is one locomotive that got away, and if you had a chance, you would buy it again? So I'll go first real quick because this is what I bought a couple of weeks ago when Stu and Ray came after the Greenberg show over to my house. I got my hands on the Pacemaker Mohawk that Lionel released a couple years ago, and that was the engine that got away from me that I got my hands on. Right now, I don't have a new one that's like a white whale that's sitting out there for me. What about? Do you have anything that you can think of off the top of your head? Is like got away?
Yeah, actually, one got away, but it wasn't even for me. One got away in Denver for Chris's Trains and Things.
Oh,
You know, MTH did a lot of these European trains.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
Okay, they're pretty in demand, I will just say. So anyhow, it's not my cup of tea. Out in Denver, a guy had one. I take a picture of the price. I take a picture of the label. I text it to Chris's Trains and Things, and I just write, thinking of you. The response comes back, all in uppercase letters. Buy. Now, it's 4 digits, guys. It's 4 digits. And so obviously going back, are you serious, or are you just, you're like yanking my chain? And anyhow, so a couple text messages later, I think, okay, I'm going to go get it. So I go back to get it. I'm talking to the vendor. Guy next to me says to the vendor, I'll give you $100 more than you're asking.
Oh,
Yeah, right, Mike? So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll go up another 100 over what he just offered you. He goes, I'm going to give you another 100. So it was like a mini, it was like a mini auction right there. Anyhow, the other guy got it, and so that was the one that got away. I really wanted to get it for Chris, so I feel bummed, but I guess it wasn't meant to be, and then I would have had to figure out how to get it on the plane from Denver to Jersey.
Yes.
That's the one that got away.
Yeah. All right, Mike, what do you got?
The one I'm still looking for at you guys all know at this point. I'm looking for a right away 2880 Bull Moose.
I should have called you and woken you up and made sure you were out of bed at 5:30 in the morning.
I know. Well, see, that was terrible timing because I had just got the daylight and all the passenger cars. And that's another reason I hate passenger trains is like, you can't just get the train. You got to get all the cars.
Mike and I were having a conversation that if you buy the engine that's like a set, you have to buy the passenger cars. And it's a couple of problems because then that's like one set that can only be run together. And then you've got to store all those passenger cars.
All the space.
So
yeah, passenger trains are the bane of my existence because if I'm just going to have the GP7 pull different freight, well, I'll just take the big boy off the line and he'll pull his freight. Bada bing, bada boom. I want to run the daylight. Oh, sheesh. All right, let's get everything off, get it all in the boxes, get all these ones out, get it up there. My kid's like, I want to see big boy do excursion. Great, get all that stuff out. All over.
All right, Del, what do you got? What's the one that got away for you?
Well, actually, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, we talked about answered this question a show or two ago, but they're both sunset models. The first one is the D&H Challenger. That they were the only ones to make a scale realistic rendition of the way the D&H Challenger looked like. You know, Lionel did a Lion Master version, but it's not the same. They are nowhere near what the D&H looked like. But this past year, Sunset Models did custom runs of scale RDC cars, and they did a Lehigh Valley with red lettering, and I missed the deadline to pre-order it. Once I found it on the internet, it was too late, and it was like I would have definitely bought that. I mean, Lionel has the Lion Chief models, but they're semi-scale. Sorry, they just don't do it for me. I want the full scale. If they're an RDC car, they're gorgeous. It's to me, you gotta have. Yeah, I just gotta have it in that version. So trying to find one used on the market, I'll probably wait another 10, 15 years for somebody to part with one, unless they do another run. But that's the one that I really regret not getting.
Gotcha.
Cool. All right, what about you, Ray?
Well, I can't say it got away because I wasn't in the hobby yet, but one that I've wanted and I'm having trouble finding is that UP Rio Grande Heritage SD70. And even it's not even on eBay anymore. So, but at the show, they did have the legacy version, but I want the newer one with Bluetooth, and it's just not out there right now. And I'm sure if I do see it at the show, it'll be like $800 There'll be no deal on it. So
Yeah.
so that's
All right.
mine, I guess.
So if I did a custom run of that, I already got one sold.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
There you go, Del. This is how I do my research.
All right. So Maddie C is asking a very similar question if we're talking locomotives, but what's the number one thing we're looking to find? So, if we go around and say what's maybe not an engine that we're looking for.
I really like these Rail King MTH double door car. Oh, look at that. There's 3 rails, 4 dads on that. Look at that. That's cool. Maybe we should do a run of those. No.
And what is that? A Middletown? Is that a Middletown, New Jersey one?
No, it's the Detroit and Toledo. The colors match the blue and the logo perfectly, and I almost got the logo to perfectly cover up the rest of the stuff. But yeah, it's the double door box cars are a little bit trickier to find. You see the Rail King box cars pretty easily, but the double door is a little trickier to find. And I don't know, I just like the tooling on them. So if I can find a couple of these, shove them in the suitcase and fly home to Omaha, I'll be happy boy.
Nice. What you got, Ray? What are you looking for outside of a locomotive?
This is at York.
Yeah.
God, I wrote a list here. I would say military cars to add to my military train, and Menards buildings. I'll get a Menards building there.
Yeah. Del, what do you got?
There's multiple things. I'm looking for backdrops because I need to start when D.A. Griffin starts the scenery before I did. I know I'm behind and he's in the chat. I see my buddy BB Tech there, but when he starts doing scenery and I'm behind, I know I'm slacking. So I'm looking for backdrops and maybe some small scenery items, but I'm also looking for the MTH trash car. Like Ray has one of the trash container flat cars. I like unique cars that are different. Usually flat cars that have unique loads on them. I own just about every D&H car ever made, and I'll have the 3-pack coming from Mecca, the coal cars when they come out. But yes, I'm looking for that. And in the TTX, I think they have gray or blue containers. I'm not sure. But they're hard to find unless you want to pay B Mart's prices, and it's like no, that's okay.
Apparently, he's getting a little more reasonable. By the way,
is he? Maybe he watched the show. I don't know, but yeah, it's amazing the finds you get. And I'm also looking the Vision Line box cars. Once I bought one a year and a half ago at York, and now I didn't realize they had remote opening couplers on them. So now I'd like to try to find a few more, or I might wait for them to make them.
I don't think I've ever tried the remote couplers on that.
Yeah. I really like those because it gives playability back without having the UC whatever tracks that you need for the post-war stuff. You could drop cars off anywhere.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I'm looking for any engines.
I'm with you on that one. I have a actually very extensive list of stuff I probably should not be buying, but one of the things on there is some Vision Line box cars. I bought my set last year. I got the Union Pacific ones that are the pigs, the sheep, pigs, whatever they were last time around. I'm trying to get other animals. Really, sheep. I got the sheep. I want to get the pigs and the cows.
Yeah. Just get a scale car and get your kids to do the sound effects. That was what I did with mine.
Mike's frozen.
Wait, we lost Mike. There's going to be a lot of also dealing in the parking lot between other.
There we go.
Like I'm buying something from Art. Mike's giving me something.
Oh, am I supposed to bring that with me?
I'm bringing something for Dell. Yeah, you want to bring them? Because I can
I'll bring
them my. If you want, you don't have to, but.
Oh, right. Thank you for reminding me, Ray.
Yes, thank you, Mike. Don't worry, I was going to remind you before.
All right, there was a question up here about custom runs I saw. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to put that one up. You read my mind. So, Mike, yeah, you're good. You're good. We haven't done, at Metka, we haven't done a custom run. I also work with a group of people that does the custom runs for TCA National as well. We do American Flyer over there. We at Metka haven't done it. Quite honestly, It's just the sales potential. Our audience doesn't seem to be an S-gauge audience. It really comes down to the minimum quantities that the factories require us to make. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, these projects have to be profitable. If these projects are in the red, this whole process comes to an end, and right quick.
Yeah.
So I'll do anything. As I said to Del before, I do all manufacturers. I'll do all graphics, fantasy, real. It doesn't matter, as long as one of the goals is it has to at least break even. I haven't been able to nail that down on American Flyer yet. Like I said, we do American Flyer through TCA National, and recently it's hard to meet minimum quantities. I'll leave it at that. Not to throw the Denver card out yet again, because I've done it a million times tonight, but in my conversations with Lionel out there, I go out there, talk business with them, and some things are in the works. They're working on stuff that maybe in the future we'll be able to work on minimum quantities, or it might open up additional decorating opportunities to lump things together or to group things together to meet the MOQ, minimum order quantity. So it's on my radar. I just have to find the right project that makes sense.
All right. So I have that. Based on that, I have a question for you then. All right, actually, I have a leading question, but first I'm going to ask my business question.
Fine.
Do you need to sell the full custom run that you do in order to be profitable, or is there like a break even at less than 100% sales?
Yeah. We the break even is not at 100%. The break even is less than that, and you need to do that because the first 50% of the quantity sells fast.
Yeah.
That last 50% of your quantity.
So that's your pre-order when you put it up on the site. That's your pre-order goes to the first 50%, and then the second 50 that shows up as part of the full run is what sits on the website for a couple of years.
Yeah. For the most part. I mean, every project's a little bit different because some projects sell out pre-sales when they come in. Yeah. They entirely ship out. But the other reason why you have to set break-even point lower than 100% production run, because as you see, not all of these production runs sell out. We do. I'll be the first to admit it. We have dogs. We have dogs that we have tons of inventory on. Not that one.
Well, this one you said you ended up repainting, right?
We did. That's why there's less. We made 100 of these. These we did 3 different cars. We didn't announce them. We showed up at York with 3 different cars, 100 of each, and just put them on the table. Then we put them on the website. After a while, they still hadn't sold out. So you get the can of Krylon out and start repainting it. And like Datify does, you start putting stickers on the cars because you got to turn the merchandise into something that's sellable. So yeah, the duds either, and well, like a locomotive, you can't, it's really hard to repaint the locomotive. Yeah. So those you just have to wait to sell. So that's why you got to make profit on the good ones to be able to subsidize those projects that don't sell through.
What I thought was really interesting too is walking around York and even in Greenberg, I've seen it, is the number of dealers who have purchased your custom runs and are reselling them on their tables.
Yeah.
Specifically the Pacemaker Camelback.
Mm-hmm.
That one seems to have done really well. I saw it in a number of tables for sale.
And as far as
brand new, not like a used that somebody like,
because the dealers buy them from us just like any of you guys, just like anybody can buy them from us. And yeah, once we're out of it, but there's still the demand, that gives them the opportunity to mark it up.
When I was getting my, wherever it is, Blue Comet Camelback, I seriously considered that Pacemaker one. That's a really nice one. All right, my second leading question for you is, and you and I talked about this a couple weeks ago when you were here. Tell everybody what you do with some of the profits that you guys get, because I thought that was a really interesting story.
Yep. So we use the profits. These trains are fundraisers. So we do a variety of different things with fundraisers. The one thing I didn't tell you is within TCA a few years ago, we did a matching program. It was a fundraiser for TCA National. And we said, whatever the other 19 divisions can raise during this annual appeal period, METCA will match it and donate it to the TCA Endowment Fund. The Endowment Fund at TCA is one of those, just like an endowment at a university. It's a fund that's there that you only utilize the interest off that fund,
Yeah.
and you leave the principal. So it's a permanent endowment to make sure TCA stays around. So that's one of the business things we do. One of the other things we do is perks for METCA members. For example, a few years ago, we rented out the entire New Hope and Ivyland train in New Hope, Pennsylvania. And we had catered food, and we had all METCA members, anybody that wanted to come on the train ride. So we do social events like that. One of the real touching things we would do is we have partnered with the Somerset County 4-H Train Masters. That's our version of the Kids Club. And so we support them. A few years ago, they wanted an MTHDCS WIU. So we said, okay, we'll get it for you. Behind the scenes, we knew we were going to give the kids the money to buy this no matter what. But we tried to instill a life lesson into them. So we said, come and make a presentation to us. So these kids in high school had to come make a presentation to the METCA board, explain the business case, say why they wanted to get this MDCS WIU thing. Again, I didn't understand anything they were saying. All I know is in my head, I'm sitting there saying, these guys are learning public speaking. This is a great life skill. And if they can get through the end of their presentation, it was going to be a guaranteed yes. So when you guys buy our custom runs and we get those funds, we take it, we channel it to the Kids Club, and these kids are loving life and they're the future of the hobby. So every custom run you buy supports the future of the hobby.
Yes.
Awesome.
So let's do this.
So
Really
awesome.
quick. I'm going to throw this up so everybody can see it. I am sure everybody who's watching has been to this site, but if you have not, please go check out. It's metca.org/store. And you can find it in the menu up here in the right-hand corner has it. But this is all the stuff they've got for the custom runs. And somebody, which one were they asking for in the comments there?
Denver. Frank was asking about the Denver and Rio Grande Western. There it is.
There it is.
Frank, I think we're down to 4 or 5 or 4 plus the display unit. The display unit is the one that Chris's Trains and Things actually ran on his layout in the video he did. But we're down to 4 sealed. We'll have those at York. So Datafied, you better be quick because it sounds like there's competition for the last units.
I'll message you after the live stream.
There's some pretty good ones in here. I have been eyeing up a few. There's some high. There you go. So for Ray and Dell, there's some nice box cars there for you. There was which one? There. You and I were talking about this one right here.
The
Lionel
Central is really nice.
Yeah, but I'll start here. The Lionel Lines one was really nice, and I was saying not just because I'm a Met fan, but just something about the orange and the blue together. Those colors really pop on any engine. They really do.
Let's go Mets.
That's right.
Boo.
Which one were you talking about? The which Conrail? The one up here that I went by?
No,
Or is it the one that I didn't get to
the
yet?
Berwick. I think the Berwick cars he was talking about, the green one. That one,
this one. This one.
the
Here?
patched one.
Is that what you were talking about, Ray? No, he's busy answering.
Sorry. Now I'm engaging the Met fans. Yes. I like both, but I like the Penn Central one, the Berwick. Stu, that's going to be at the show, or no? That's a pre-order.
No. These aren't in yet.
Okay.
I predict the end of the year.
Okay.
Second half of the year. There you go.
Hey, speaking of stuff that Stu's got, once we're done through this, is there anything else we can show him there?
Right there. That is sitting right there on my layout. So we'll tell the story in a minute, but yes, let me just scroll through the rest of the page really quick for everybody else.
You're good.
Yeah. There's those containers we saw before. This you highlighted. I think this was in the fall show with Sean, right? You talked about this one?
Correct. Yep.
GS4.
Correct.
There's RBP's car. You still got a few of those left?
Yeah, about 8 or 9. Yeah.
All right.
Those will all be at York.
All right, I might be picking one of those up. I ordered one of these Jim Beans.
Wait, I'll show up.
No, I ordered the
again.
Beefeater. I ordered the Beefeater and the MASH.
Yeah, the flat car with the
Yeah.
MASH Jeeps on it.
Yeah.
MASH
Jeep.
4077.
Yeah. So there you go, Ray. There's your military load, right? You could order 2 different road numbers. And unfortunately, though, it's semi-scale.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the real
that's the
version.
The
problem.
real King version.
I
So there's
love
lots of
the-
stuff on here, guys. If you haven't checked this out, the Berkshire is also very cool.
Click on it.
Oh, I never.
The tank car is awesome. The Air Force One.
Scroll. Yeah, you got that one at the YouTube. One more. Scroll one more.
Ooh, I did not know this existed, guys.
So there you go. That's the virtual image. Now,
beautiful. Now Lionel does all this for you?
They do all that for me. So I mean, that's what everybody always says. Like, Stu, you got to do a lot of graphics. I don't do any graphics. I don't. My email to Lionel, I will send them a picture, like a picture of an airplane, and say, take this airplane paint scheme and put it on a locomotive, or I will describe what I want in words. I don't do any graphics, nothing. Now this one, it looks. You can imagine what one of these will look like in real life.
So I was just about to say, for you guys who, I don't know if it's showing up on YouTube as well as it shows up on my computer screen in front of us, that my monitor isn't that fantastic, but the computer screen in front of us, that orange and gray, they just pop.
It's going to pop. On that screen there, it's not as much of a wow factor.
Yeah,
but
so now if I earn a little money from this video, I can actually buy a better screen.
The true purpose of Freerails.
If he earns any money from this video, he better buy one of these trains. Forget the screen.
Hey, Real Chief's here too. Awesome.
Nice.
Wait, who said Methuen? Someone's Methuen, Massachusetts. You're serious? All right. I don't hardly ever hear that.
There you go. All right. So wait, I gotta go back over here. What am I clicking on? The
you click on the X, yeah. Then
you got Christmas cards in there. This support our troops is really cool.
The Mustang, the Red Tails one is gorgeous.
That's cool.
Too. Yeah.
All right.
That is
so
awesome.
I want to jump there. Now, what I should probably do is see if I can't connect, unfortunately, my phone, or else stuff will get a little wonky. But and I don't think I could zoom us in, unfortunately.
Well, he's figuring that out, folks. If you haven't already liked this video while you're in here, also, if you're in the chat and you just haven't chimed in yet, say hello. I want to see everyone that's in here joining us tonight.
Yeah, so, all right, let me see if I can. I'm kind of over here. So, a couple weeks ago.
The day the tractor trailer truck delivered the whole pallet.
So I get a picture in the text message from Stu. And he goes, "What are you up to this afternoon?" And I just happened to have my layout completely torn apart because I was replacing the 048 with the 054. So he sends me a picture. He's like, "What are you up to this afternoon?" The with these SD90s, right?
SD70s.
SD70s just showed up, and I want to come over and test one out. And I'm like, I sent him a picture back. My layout's a mess, but I will have it ready for you to run that engine by this afternoon. So my goal was to get literally, Mike, that was it. I was in the garage sawing like crazy, hammering like crazy, putting this back together so he could come over. It came over at 4:30. We had a few beers. We unboxed it. Now, unfortunately, we were trying to get Stu's Cab 2 and Base 2 hooked up to my layout to run this full legacy, but we could not get it to work. So we just have my TMCC. So we're missing some of the special features, but this thing is just fantastic. And in fact, it's still even programmed into my layout from last time we were here. I'm going to put my mic down next to it.
Oh, there it is.
It's not picking it up too good.
I wonder if it's too close, if it's just washing it out.
Washing it out, he said. It might be too close.
Too close?
Yeah.
All right.
So anyhow, what he was trying to demonstrate there was we have an air raid siren in there. Not the first time they've put an air raid siren in a locomotive. You know, by now, any military.
Is that better?
No.
Nope. So now every military locomotive that comes out has that air raid siren.
There we go.
But we at York will once we get it on a system with the Base 2 and Cab 2, and we can activate the aux 3 feature, there should be one more sound in there. You just got to verify it to make sure it actually made it in there in production. If so, it's a sound that they've never put in a locomotive before.
Oh.
So, yes. So first of all, just order the locomotive first. take Stu's word for it that there will be something awesome included with it. Don't wait for York because they will be gone. And I have to tell you, I've had this on the layout now twice. It's gorgeous.
Wait, can we get close up on it?
Yeah, I'm running it around because it started going and I wanted to get it. I will bring it up close so you guys can see it. Hold on, it's going around. I think it might have derailed something back there. Let's see.
What did you break the?
Yep, it's derailed.
Oh, 72.
Here's the hardest spot to get to.
Of course.
Oh, look at that. The locomotive is what's derailed.
You're breaking your body.
Switch. Grab it and yank
I
it
don't
back.
know that we're doing Stu any favors here. We can't do aux 3. We broke the train.
Wait a second. Let me go on the Metka PayPal account. Oh my God, we're losing money as we speak.
Right.
People are canceling their orders.
Take it back.
So, by the way, if anybody has ordered this locomotive, they're in my garage. They're all packed up. I'm going to put the labels on the boxes tomorrow or Saturday. They're going out on Saturday. So if you got a shipping notice earlier this week when my buddy printed the shipping labels.
So are you bringing any to York, Stu, or they're all
we have a handful of these.
Okay.
When he brings it over, we'll try to get the actual finish to show up.
Okay.
These are the kind of locomotives that when you see them in person, they look way better than that computer generated image.
Right.
So we ordered a couple extra because when you see it and the light pops off of this special chrome silver finish, it looks really good.
For the record, it was user error. The switch was set to straight.
Excellent. So
You
it's not
have caused
the trains
confusion
that I
and
designed.
delay.
All user error.
So Topham Hat would be so pissed.
RJ showed up finally.
There we go. Yep.
Who showed up?
RJ.
RJ. All right.
Hey, I'm glad RJ's there because that was one of my things about Stu I had to talk about. RJ,
Okay.
look, I'll wait till the end.
The light is right here. Now, you guys probably can't see it, but what we noticed is when you actually look at it in different lights, it's different colors.
Whoa. We're all like
So it's
staring
not-
at our screens. Everyone else is like,
Everyone's like getting in.
Wait, hold on. That's a great point. Hold on. Let me do.
It's not just your traditional silver paint finish. It's got like a metallic fleck in it.
yeah, make that bigger. You don't need us.
Lark and the train board have come just in time to see this engine too.
Yes.
You know, what I said is like you can almost see when you're on the layout, it picks up this green into the silver.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh,
Check out
Gold
the fuel
Standard and Chris have joined us too.
Check out the fuel tank.
We got bombs down there. Oh, look at Chris's trains and
This
things.
is good timing for all the big boys to show up
They're
here.
all waiting for this.
I think it's about time that I say, welcome back to the basement. Welcome back to the channel. Listen, I taught Chris everything he knows. So hold on, give me that.
Yeah.
I love doing all little fun little details, and we're gonna see if that shows. No, it doesn't show up. Anyhow, up here, it says like no step. It says warning, ejection seat. So there's
Oh my god.
yeah, there's all sorts of little fun. Yeah, I mean, it's based off of an actual P-51 Mustang
That is
from the
awesome.
Tuskegee Airmen. And if they had an ejection seat, well, when you put it on a locomotive, you got to have an ejection seat hatch right there.
Right.
Where's the can of bombs?
It says Kilroy was here down on the bomb. That little Kilroy figure.
I might be
perfectly
I might be in
knows.
trouble on this one.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know. So he's come over now twice with this engine, and I don't know that he's going to walk out of the house with it.
I know.
I need something to run with my other one up there. So
We know
Hey,
the real reason I came to your house.
So hold on. How long have we been on? 55 minutes. You want to keep this to roughly an hour?
we're going to go a little. We usually go about an hour and 15, right?
So do you guys want a worldwide reveal tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that even a question?
Well, it was kind of a question. So
You better ask Jackman first.
Well, listen. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's trying to make multiple people happy. So Sean, don't feel bad. You got the exclusive announcement that Metka was doing a locomotive in conjunction with 2024 Volume 1 that we haven't yet announced. You then got a second video, Sean, that told you it was going to be an E6. So I think Sean has gotten two good little tidbits of information.
Yes.
But when I did those, when Sean was at the train shows and I gave that information, we didn't yet have the artwork. So, but I got the artwork 2 days ago.
Ooh.
So it's over there. It's over there. Should I go grab it?
Yes.
I'll go grab it.
Go full screen art.
Good call.
Yeah, you don't need the rest of our ugly mugs. Get
Yeah.
that.
Go full screen for this one.
So, and I gave, I was trying to be coy with Sean and say this and that, and I can't describe the paint. And well, I still can't even describe the paint.
Oh.
Because what
All
would,
right, forget that engine. I'm getting this one.
I'll give you a little prelude.
Wait, let me get Ray RJ off of there so we get, when this comes up, we have full screen. There we go.
I'll just go straight into it. We are going
Here, I'll hold it so you
like
can talk.
that.
There we go.
So this is a Lionel E6 AB,
What?
entirely clear shell. Now, yes, they had a locomotive in their catalog that had the lower part of it clear, but this 100% of the shell is going to be clear, and it's a super base B unit, all clear. Now, you might be wondering, like, why in the world would you do Santa Fe War Bonnet, just the pinstriping on a clear shell? Again, rewind to post-war. They had a salesman sample, clear shell Santa Fe F3,
Yes.
that all it had was the war bonnet stripe and the name. So this is a modern day incarnation
Oh.
of that post-war locomotive.
With a super base.
Yeah, super base. So you're really going to see how the sausage is made here, because you see everything inside, all the guts. Lionel's version that they're doing with the lower third clear, like they're
Was it
eliminating.
even a lower third? I thought it might just be the middle. Whatever
It
it
was-
was not a full engine.
It's not full. So and they're eliminating some of the things like the little handrails at the end, because the way the factory installs them is those handrails, they put them in the holes.
I'm trying to get to where here you can see it right
Yeah,
there.
those handrails on the body shell, when they put them in the holes, they glue them on with crazy glue. But it's inside a shell, it's painted, nobody cares. On Lionel's version, they're eliminating the handrails because they don't want anybody to see the glue. But my philosophy was, no, I want people to see how the sausage is made. I want everybody to see all the guts in here. So put the handrails on. If people see glue on the inside, if you see tape on the inside, wire nuts, that's the purpose, to see all of it. Well,
That's cool.
and what this is this is the artwork that we get from Lionel. If it'll focus, good enough. So yeah, on here it looks white because obviously clear plastic on a white piece of paper is going to show up the white. So that's the artwork for the A. Here's the artwork for the B unit. So
That's gorgeous.
clear and again, these pictures, yes, it has a little bit of a bluish tint to it, but you know, it's hard to show clear. They don't physically have a clear one to photograph. So the way they had to do this was they just photographed the chassis without a shell on it. So they take
Like,
that
go
photograph
over it.
and then they superimpose, they Photoshop a body that they tried to cut down the opacity on, so it's not opaque and cover up all the guts inside. Because I'm like, no, we got to see the guts.
That's
so
fantastic.
anyhow, even though this says now available for ordering, I only sent this info to the webmaster today. So when the webmaster gets it up on the website, it'll be
I was
it'll
going to
be
say, can we
available.
not scroll far enough down the page to see that? Because it does say
I know.
Available now.
These I printed to hand out at York next week. So by next week, it should be on the
Ooh.
website.
On the website.
Cool.
Yeah. So there you go. Sorry, Sean, you didn't get the actual details of what it is, but thank you for saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post-war, George. What did I say? Pre-war? Did I say pre-war F3? Anyhow, George corrected me.
If I said post-war,
okay.
I thought you said post-war, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I was just in awe of the drawing, honestly.
So again, I think this is one of so this one again, the quantities were due back in February when the cutoff date for the volume 1 catalog was. So we ordered these about 2 months ago, and we're just going to be announcing it now.
So you ordered the quantity without even having it up on the site for a pre-order. Is that normal?
It's becoming more and more normal.
The timing of everything.
It's the timing. Now, if you noticed this last cycle, we put the catalog came out in January. In December, we put online our ES44, and we put one other look. Oh, the GP9s. We put those up in December, even though the catalog wasn't released until January. Sometimes Lionel lets us announce certain things before they drop the catalog. Other things they make us wait until the day the catalog is released to announce our custom runs. And sometimes we don't even start the custom run process like this one until the catalog comes out. And that's when we get the epiphany and the light goes off and says, wow. Now, this one I've been working on a while. I asked them to do a different locomotive. I can't say what locomotive I asked them to do in a clear shell, what body style, but I asked them to do a body style in a clear shell, and the answer came back no, for technical reasons, not because they love the idea, but technically it wouldn't work. So when they knew I had interest in doing a clear shell, they said, well, we can't do this body style in a clear shell, but here's what we can do for you. And so that's when that
must be the way the injection, the molding and everything happens. Yeah.
It has to do with the texture. You wouldn't think that this plastic has a texture coming out of the mold, but it is a super fine texture. It gives it a cloudy look when they mold it. If you've ever noticed MTH, they also do some like chrome plated cars from time to time. Yeah. To do those, they have to take that tooling out of service, that mold out of service, get it polished, and bring it back. Because again, that micro texture that's normally on a mold is enough of a profile that it gives that clear plastic a cloudy or a frosted look. So that's why you just can't do on any MTH car that chrome finish, or on any Lionel body a clear shell, because it won't always have the effect that you want.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you see, Stu, did you see Rose Jewel's comment about the rock that he used as a weight inside his engine?
Post-war alcohols.
I love it, Rose Jewel. Great.
Oh,
there you go.
I've again, like I posted on Facebook when I posted that Datafied called me Mr. Metka. A train with no brakes. I've been called worse. I'll take that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, sure. Well, since we're on that, Stu, while your mouth is running, like it was the other night, if any of you were in RJ's premiere video watching his top 5 locomotives, I was in the chat, Stu was in the chat, and RJ asked us about the Atlas catalog dropping, and Stu had to run his mouth and say, wait till you see what we have in custom runs. Oh, so boy. What can you talk about the new Atlas catalog tonight? Is there anything you can mention since the catalog dropped or not?
You want me to stick that in the layout so it's on the way?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. I'll throw it over there.
No.
See, here's sometimes when you do all this and you get an entire skid of these, you almost become immune to. They just become a widget sometimes.
He showed me. There's a pallet outside his garage door full of engines.
God.
Like, I mean, the passion's there, but I take it for what it is. It's a hunk of plastic.
You understand? He showed up to the house. He's like, "You can open it. Go ahead." And I was like, this is somebody's engine. I can't break this. He's like, no, will you get it out of the box and get it on the layout?
Hurry up. So the only so a year or two ago, Dell, with Atlas, TCA did a Strasburg Railroad snowplow, a Russell snowplow.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the paint scheme as it exists today. And as you heard me mention a minute ago, we had to pick the quantity long before we even announced it.
Oh, gotcha.
So we played it conservative. Everybody had told me it was not a good idea to do. One or two people, Chris's Trains and Things, convinced me that it was a good idea to do.
Thank you.
A lot of super powerful people in the hobby said, no demand for it. So when we did it, we ordered the minimum. We ordered conservatively. They sold out super fast. But the Strasburg snowplow came in two different paint schemes. The one as it exists today and the version 1 paint scheme. So 2 years ago, I told Atlas, next time you're going to do your snowplow, I want to do the second version of the Strasburg snowplow. So I won't tell you what just showed up in my email box a couple of weeks ago, the middle of March, but I knew that the snowplow was coming up because something showed up in my email box. And then I asked them about a 40-foot reefer.
There you go.
A 40-foot woodside reefer that Eric Grissom gave me the idea for. So that's on the drawing board at Atlas. I don't have artwork for that yet. So one of those will be for TCA National, and then the other one, the 40-foot reefer, will be for Metka. So hold on a second.
So
James just pre-ordered.
you see that James just placed an order.
Is Aiden
He could have
here?
this engine that was been on my layout. Should I sign the box?
So
James, come on.
thank you, James.
Of
Nice.
course, James got it.
Should we throw in a couple of these for him?
Oh yeah, there's Aiden.
Hey,
Aiden
Del,
probably bought every one of them.
All right, wait. Should I make us full?
No, you can leave us little because I'm going to play a little game. Ready, Del?
Yep.
There you go. That was the sneak peek of the artwork.
Aberdeen.
You'll have to look on the TCA website sometime next week.
Slow it down and freeze the frame. I have the recording, Del. We'll be able to grab a screenshot.
I'll pause it on the rebroadcast.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Stu.
look on the TCA website, tcatrains.org for snowplow, and then I don't have to tell you to go to metka.org.
See, once I got the switch in the right direction, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't the locomotive.
It was user error. I can't operate my own layout.
But here's the beautiful thing. When these trains don't work, I don't take it personal because paint. I tell everybody, they're like, can you do this, but change this and put an extra dome on the tank car? And that? No. I do paint. All I do is graphics. I don't change features. Okay, every once in a while I'll get a special sound set, but I don't change features. I don't change molds. I mean, the cost to do that is incredible. I deal with the decorating and that's it. Everything else is standard as the manufacturers make them.
Cool.
Okay, James is putting me to shit. James gets everything. I don't know how he does it. I'm very jealous.
He's bought everything.
He's killing me.
Oh, here's a good one.
I think John might have been the first one to buy that Strasburg snowplow the first time.
So it's going to be the point where we're no longer going to be reviewing volume 1, volume 2 of the catalog. We're going to just be, when's the next custom run coming out? We're going to do a review of the Metka website. But he's sitting there waiting for the refresh on like a Friday night, hitting the refresh button on the site.
That's more fun.
So, all right. I have not looked at the Atlas catalog yet. Who has looked at the Atlas catalog? I know Ray, you looked at it. Del, I think you guys would text
Okay,
me.
so let me say something on it. It seems what I've heard, people are not into it. Of course, I loved it because they featured Metro North #1, and
right.
Obviously that's going to be very niche. But I don't know. I thought it was pretty tempered on that. I mean, some people like the 280s, but
I heard a lot of chatter.
I loved it. But I didn't like their rolling stock in there. I thought that was
Yeah,
They were
Real
weak on the
Chief checked
rolling
it out.
side.
So Mike, Real Chief, throw in the comments what you thought of the catalog, the Atlas catalog, that is. All right, wait. So the 280s, that was the first time they've done Steam in a long time. Is that an MTH mold they bought? No, it's their own.
Nope.
Brand new.
Nope.
All right, I'm out of guesses. What else?
And
Weaver.
Oh, Weaver.
It's an ex Weaver. I didn't even know Weaver had done diecast. I thought Weaver only did brass.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I got to give RJ credit because he said, because I obviously freaked out about the Lionel Lion Chief 2.0 Genesis Metro North engines, and RJ was like, "Nah, I'm gonna wait for the scale ones from Atlas." And I was kind of like, "Well, that's gonna take forever. Like they're not gonna do it." So I was pretty surprised that they had them all in there, and they had the New York Central one in there, which Lionel hasn't done yet. But I expect them to
I'm guessing Lionel can do these, right?
Yeah, and in the volume 2, I expect it to be in there, especially now that Atlas did it. So
that's interesting. I clicked on this and it brought me to that.
But again, no one cares about that but me, probably. And that was
You're
what
the guy
they're
that
featured. They're featured.
I don't think you're the only one, Ray. I don't think you're the only one, man. I do
really?
think there's a lot of love for that.
Okay, I know Rail Chief liked the New York Central.
I actually liked that one as well. Here, let me share this so you guys can see it. I pulled up the catalog here.
630 for Caleb. Surprise, surprise.
Wait, why is it showing that versus the other? All right, I'll switch tabs. Don't worry about it. We'll get this working. Give me a second. Share. Cut back over here and get rid of this tab. Oh, that didn't work. Let's go back. Sorry, guys. Share screen.
The other three guys have it pretty easy because they just sit there and drink, and you're here sharing comments, pulling up pages. How'd you get the short end of the stick?
Listen, Art is the leader. We've already given up on it.
Mike's got me on his layout. I'm the guy with the clipboard and the cup of coffee.
Tonight
he sent me a picture while I was at work the other day. He's like, "Here you are in my layout."
Yeah. There's the,
all right, there it is.
The 280s.
Yeah.
280s.
That's the train. I got a couple messages. Mike, you need to get the 280 Union Pacific. I have a 280 Union Pacific, so I think I'm good.
No,
Sean has it right. I mean, they take forever. Even those Metro North Comet cars, like the Atlas guys told me those were coming. Like there they are, right there. I just saw the blue ones. They're still not out.
Where's my 280?
I think on the Atlas catalog web thing Wednesday, I thought they said that the comic cars were in their warehouse. I thought
this is all.
Yeah, I keep hearing that, and they're not on any website yet. So
that's my first legacy, actually, right there. All right, let me scroll back up for you. You said I know, Ray. We're supposed to go pick those up at Train World, right? You're like, when they come in, we'll go to Train World together.
Look right there. Look, and they put them right with the Genesis, which is smart. I hope they made enough because think about that, guys. They made that comic car.
Ray's gonna have a tail chaser of just cars running.
2020. Those were pre-order. And now they're making the engine. They're not going to have enough. So those comic cars are going to be impossible to find.
And what does the engine have in it? Does it have TMCC or does it have?
No, it has
DCS.
DCS, right? I
think
DCS.
DCS, right?
PS3.
PS. Sorry, say that again. 2 or 3? 3. Okay.
3.
I sold my
engine one's actually pretty cool.
If I don't get those cars, I'm in big trouble. Like I have to get those because those will be the hardest. Like I have to put all my resources into getting those cars, or I don't know what I'm.
I got to say, looking at these 280s, and I just pulled up my legacy version that was from the catalog a couple years ago. I don't see anything special about these versus what we have for the legacy ones.
But a lot of people were into it. That was like, again, other than the Metro North.
Well, I'm guessing it's got Proto Sound 3 in it. So if you were an MTH, control system fan, there you go. I mean, looking at the add-on details, it looks identical.
I agree.
To my legacy. I mean, maybe the wire for the bell looks like the only difference. Maybe the whistle. that kind of stuff, but not really much else.
Wait,
let's
I have a
go back to
question. I have a question for Stu. So, like, Stu, on that boxcar, how much is a pre-order? Like, can I do that at York with you, or?
Yeah, you can do it at York. You can do it on the website. You can do it in person at York.
And how
Absolutely.
much is it? How much is it
For which one?
for the Penn Central? It said 99.
Yeah, for you 109.
Oh, God.
Wait,
What?
Free shipping.
Get the doctor discount.
Free shipping.
Chris's trains have
So
been
yeah, but
That's-
we always offer combo deals because it's obviously way more cost effective to ship 2 cars in a box than 1 car in a box. The second car costs almost nothing to add to the first box.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
1 car alone is 99, but I think if you buy a pair, the second car is 90.
That's
Okay.
my son. That's Parker upstairs.
Hey, yo, Parker.
Wait, live stream approved. Good job. So Bill B and shoot, who else was in there? Was it Darren? We're getting the Missouri Pacific. It's always nice to see some love from Missouri Pacific. It's always seems like that's kind of flying under the radar for most. So I'm glad they're getting some out there.
What I want to get my hands on, just seeing those green passenger cars, actually, one of the things I'm looking for at York is one of those. And I think they were a set. I don't know if I want to buy the whole set, but the was it MTH or was it Lionel who did the like military passenger cars? I think they were Red Cross a couple of years ago. I don't remember what it was, like a 4-pack or something like that. I know I've seen them on a bunch of videos. And
Green, but with the white square with the red cross in it.
Yeah, I was trying to think about maybe grabbing one. If I see one of those, oh, there you go. They did the GP15s.
Yeah. I know Stockyard Express did a custom run on either MTH or Atlas passenger cars.
Because I was thinking with my military set, run that first.
Yeah.
With then all the military cars behind it.
Yeah.
I'll defend Atlas on the rolling stock a little, even though it was disappointing in this catalog. They still have, since it takes them forever to make anything, they have a lot of, like, I have stuff pre-ordered for them that's still coming. Like all those Berwicks, the 60-foot boxcars, like those are still coming. So it's probably for the best that I don't want anything.
Well, you know, it gives you time to save, right?
Right.
The way to look at it. That's pretty cool. All right, what are we sitting at here? How long have we been on this for?
Almost
An hour and 18.
Hour
and
20.
18.
Oof.
We got, all right, let's go
That's
through any
brutal.
last minute comments here for anybody and any last minute questions that we didn't get to. All right, here wait, somebody, of course, Dakman's got my answer. Atlas O, there you go. Made the Red Cross passenger cars in the past. Yeah. Country Bunker has them. He runs them. He was just running them in his layout when he tore down his first layout recently. He had him on his layout for the last run. Let's see. The Erie Caboose.
Black River and Western, yeah.
So if Atlas is doing those New York Central cars, not cars, the Metra scheme, before Lionel does, and then Lionel announces it in Volume 2, does that mean that Lionel's still going to get those to market faster than Atlas will?
Yeah, because if they're volume, because think about it this way, they're in Volume 1, right? They're in Volume 1, just not the paint schemes that Ray was talking about.
Right.
They've already got the engines in production. It's just a different paint scheme. They got to throw on they could build the bodies and they could build the locomotives themselves and just have to paint the lids and box it all up and everything. So they could have them out early next year.
Yeah.
Think about it. What did we just say, Ray? You were texting us the other day. A ton of Volume 2.
Yeah.
2023 catalog stuff hit last week, right?
A bunch. So everyone knows the GP30s are here, and then the SD70s just showed up, and I've heard the SD50s are like a week away, which sucks, honestly, because now because I have that coming, and like that hurts my York budget. I mean, I'm glad it's here, but man, that's early. All the Volume 2 stuff is.
All right, I gotta check out
right
Streamboard's video. Let's check out there.
So Ray, I think the SD50s are about a month or 6 weeks away.
Okay.
What is about 2 weeks away is their 280s, and I know that because we did a New Hope and Ivy Land 280. So those are due within the next couple of weeks. But the SD50s, I think, are a month after that.
That's not so bad, because I kind of heard from Gersbowski's they were really close. I haven't been there in a couple weeks, so a month or 6 weeks I could.
You can be.
I will
We'll
tell
see.
you. I know Lionel in the past has gotten flack about their shipping schedule because
Right.
it was a PDF and they would update it twice a year. If you now go to their website and click on shipping schedule, they don't have a shipping schedule on their Lionel.com website anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Right.
But even better, this is something that a lot of people knew before they took the shipping schedule down. If you go to LionelStore.com,
I always check their store.
they have very accurate shipping dates on LionelStore.com. So Lionel.com, when you go to shipping schedule, it now says go to LionelStore.com for the shipping update. And I think as of last week, LionelStore.com showed the SD50s in May, I believe.
That's good. Give us a buffer.
Did anyone here? All 5 of us? Anyone have anything show up from the volume 2 yet or no?
Ooh,
Like I
end of
said,
this month. SD50s, the 23rd,
23rd of what?
Okay.
April.
April. Ugh.
That's it. I got customers that have deposits on those. I better get on the ball and get invoices out.
Don't worry.
All right, here, wait. All right, so, and I know I texted Mike, Del, and Ray about this, but yeah, let me share it on the channel here for you guys.
Base 3, November 2026. Are you kidding me?
No way. Wait,
No.
what?
This date that is on here,
No.
no, is accurate. It was they posted on the OGR forum that they're in production, and this date is most likely like they're gonna be in the month of August. They may be the end. They said the 12th right now, but they will. Now the question is, like, I'm guessing this is ship date, meaning hits Lionel's warehouse,
Yes.
and then gets distributed to retailers who then have to distribute to us. It
Yes.
takes a couple weeks to do all that stuff,
Yes.
but it's by September.
In 64.
I love that.
That's
comment.
awesome.
Wait, what did
Looks
I
like a
miss?
Nintendo N64.
It's true.
Just put the cartridge in the top for.
You gotta blow on it to make it work.
That's right. That's right.
That's awesome.
Yes. James noticed your son up past bedtime, Mike, and my other son sitting over here, but he should be getting ready for bed too.
Literally just came down and said, "Dad, is it time for prayers yet? Time for night train?"
No. November, that's not bad. I thought you said 2025. I was about to blow
No,
a
no.
gasket.
No, but August, September. So I ordered mine from Hennings. If it hits Hennings, and let's just call it early September. I should have it by mid-September.
I guess.
Yep.
Nobody knows.
Nobody.
Wait,
knows.
when you
5
said,
short months away, man, guys. 5 short months.
I swear I thought you said 2025, and I was about
No,
to
we were
rip all of the
joking when we
people.
said that, Del. I actually think Stu said 2027, to be honest.
I was about to rip everyone because everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Lionel's will do it. Lionel's
No,
gonna have it out." I was about to-
they Lionel themselves posted on the OGR forum that date is accurate, that they're in production and moving through. And they, I'm assuming it's going to be a big first run. So they got a ton of pre-orders. All right. So there's a lot of sites. We were talking about this. I think when you and Ray were here, there was a lot of sites that still were accepting orders, like Train World, still accepting orders. A lot of sites like Hennings, where you can't even find it anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
They took it off their website.
So I'm assuming the couple sites that still have it up that are accepting orders, they're updating Lionel with new numbers every chance they get. So Lionel is probably going to hopefully, I think, meet that. I have heard. So also on the OGR forum, they announced the WTIU. They have a production sample, and they're preparing to go into production or just hit production themselves. And they're going to my guess would be, my theory, they're in the same factory being built by the same people. They're going to show up at the same time. But I actually, from the looks of the post that Mike Wolf made, they're going to be a month or two behind the base 3.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Which would actually make their lead time longer because they announced in October 2020. I think the WTIU, somewhere in there.
Wah, 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 wah.
Next thing you're going to hear, besides the fact that he collects NPC, he's like, I like the handle on the ZW and forget this old remote.
Yup.
Yet he builds locomotives that have the aux 3 features.
You just need one of these.
That doesn't do aux 3.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you can get plenty of command control with just throwing power on a track.
That's true.
I met so many guys at the local train club and everything that were just like blown away by like, wait, you can just do this? Like, yeah. I don't need to get command or whatever. No, just buy a new engine, put power to the track, use this guy. And they're just like,
You don't even need to buy one of those. Just put your phone.
You see that guy.
It's
yeah.
I will say, when Mike gives me that remote, it'll be easier to film some stuff with it. It's very easy to film once I'll have that remote.
Got you.
Just go to Best Buy or eBay and buy a cheap phone, man.
It doesn't even need any service.
I have,
You just hook up
I
your
have
Wi-Fi.
2 phones. I have 2 phones already.
All right.
Oh.
What do we got in the comments? Yeah, there you go. That's right. I still have so Dave, I still have my father's post-war ZW that I use to power tracks on my layout and my accessories. All the accessories running on my layout are actually off my father's ZW. 70 some odd years old now. Yeah, there you go. Charles Rowe still has it up. I haven't been able to find it on Charles Rowe. I really haven't looked though, I guess. Yeah, well, Dave, we know you're a ZW fan. I think you still have 3 or 4 you need to refurbish. Last time I saw you mention it in a video.
Whoa, calling him out.
Yeah. No, I love watching this. So I used his video to figure out whether or not or how to actually replace the rollers on my ZW. All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. If the
DA, thanks for saving yours.
Was that identified?
Oh, for DA Griffin, just thanking him for saving one of these little guys.
That was a fun series of videos he did.
Yeah, I like that.
How he got his 080 back to 080 back to life.
Yep. Mine wasn't in that bad a shape when I got it, but it was bad enough for me to warrant doing the changing out the guts for Lion Chief so my little guy can use them around the track.
Mike had a good Trains with a Z video too, if anyone hasn't watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you put buying trains in the title of something and the algorithm loves you.
Absolutely.
Watch everything else. That one doesn't need any help.
All right, guys. We are at an hour and a bunch of change here. So hour and a half. No.
Hour and a half.
I know, it's my fault. Blame me.
All right, guys, like we said before, please be sure to like and subscribe. 3 Rails, 4 Dads, Instagram, and YouTube. And we will see you guys. All of us will be there at York, including Stu.
Say hi to us at York.
You saw Mike. If you haven't seen, Mike bought us all nice stickers that we will be handing out, as well as Mike, Dell. I don't know if you did it, but Ray and I all have our own stickers and whatever we're going to be handing out too. So, yeah, he's got my little refrigerator magnets there that I created.
If you see us alone or together, come up and say hello.
Or we will hunt you down as well. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining.
Good night, everybody.
Ton of fun. Thanks, everybody. Ooh, I get dessert now.